As we look ahead to Eurovision 2024, at this time of year, speculation begins to mount about who might be taken to the stage on behalf of their respective nations next year. While there can often be a sea of relative unknowns being talked about on social media, this year there are already some familiar faces being talked about as potential entrants for Eurovision 2024. People are talking about, amongst others, Eurovision winner Conchita Wurst from Austria and popular Irish twins Jedward, who took to the stage for Ireland not once but twice. While we can neither confirm or deny their participation, I wanted to take a look at returning performers and how they fare when they take to the Eurovision stage for the second time, perhaps third time. Going back to the very first competition back in 1956, Lisa Sia took part and won, of course. Coming back the following year, however, was unable to repeat her success, but not to be beaten, came back for a third and final time in 1958 and placed second with Giorgio. Corey Brocken, who won in 1957 for the Netherlands, returned the following year, only to come last. The UK's own Cliff Richard took part for the first time in 1968 and placed second, and then in 1973 placed one place lower in third position. Ireland's Linda Martin came second in 1984 with Terminal 3 before winning in Malmo in 1992. Linda, of course, made multiple appearances on Ireland's national final selection, trying her very best to get to Eurovision. Sticking with Ireland, Johnny Logan famously took part twice in 1980 and 1987, winning both times. 1993 winner Niamh Kavanagh came back in 2010 and placed 23rd. Israel Eurovision winner Dawn International came back in 2011 and failed to make the final. Sweden's Loreen is not the only Swedish performer to have graced the Eurovision stage multiple times. Carola took part in 1983 before finally landing Sweden's third win in Rome in 1991. 1999 winner Charlotte Nilsson, as she was known then, came back to Serbia in 2008 to a less favourable result. Germany's Win performed for the nation three times in 1985, 1987 and 1992. Wind placed second in 1985 and 1987, and many have been hoping that third time would be a charm in 1992. However, this wasn't to be, and the band were never seen again in the competition. The returning performer has the unenviable task of trying to better their previous result from last time around, which can often be challenging, particularly if that initial appearance proved successful. The 2023 contest was packed with previous entrants: Marco Mengoni, Pasha Parfeni, Monica Lekinci, and of course eventual victor Loreen had all performed on the Eurovision stage before. Marco in 2013 came a very respectable 7th back in Malmo in 2013, and earlier in the year in Liverpool managed a very respectable 4th place. If Marco ever decides to set foot on stage again for his nation, he would now have to land a top 3 for this to be considered a success. Loreen too, if she ever decides for a hat-trick, needs to pull off a 3rd victory for it to be worth her while. Sentimentality can only get you so far, and if the audience and the jury aren't getting behind the performance, then a good result isn't guaranteed. The returning performer has always been a part of the Eurovision story. So why do performers decide to come back? Well, some performers love the Eurovision experience and the wider Eurovision family. The pre-party competition and Pride circuit can keep performers busy for years to come, and repeat outings of the competition help to remind fans of certain performers' ongoing Eurovision story. Certain performers are, for better or worse, tied to Eurovision, and is what they are known for, and can be guaranteed a warm reception on returning to the competition. Loreen is a prime example of this. Bookies had her favourite to win the competition even before she had successfully passed through the mandatory gateway of national selection competition Melodifestivalen. For other performers, it can be a chance to show fans and the wider spectators how they have evolved as a performer and how their musical style has changed. For others, it's a sense that they perhaps didn't give their best the first time around and are out to redeem themselves with a second showing. Most national finals feature contestants who have been to the competition before, such as the allure and the platform of the Eurovision that it draws people back for more. Which returning performers do you think we will see next year in Malmo? Who are you hoping returns to the competition in the near future? Do you think Loreen could go on to win Eurovision a third time? Let me know in the comments below. I look forward as always to reading those comments. But until next time, you take care. I'll see you very soon.